What's going on, guys? My name is Trey. Welcome back to My Custom Life. Today we're going to be doing a gun cleaning video. We're going to be cleaning this one. This is a Walther PK380. This is my mom's gun. It's the purple color on the frame anyway, but I'm going to show you how to break it down, and we're going to clean it, reassemble it, and we're going to show you that process. Pretty simple. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and bring y'all down here so you can see everything. We can go ahead and get started. Alright. Now, this gun does not have, as far as I know, a slide lock, slide release, as you see on most guns. So, in order for it to take it down, you have this tool that actually comes with the gun. It's the breakdown tool. What you're going to do, you're going to do this, and you can pull the trigger now. Make sure it's clear, like I've been showing y'all. It's clear, no mag, no bullet. Shoot it, or I guess pull the trigger, not really shoot it. You're going to turn it counterclockwise, almost a full half turn. You're going to pull, there we go. Pull back on the slide just a little bit. You're going to pull this little bar down. It goes all the way around the gun. Pull it down, and your mag slides right off. Now, take this tool out, push that thing back up, push that bar back up, do another half turn, pull it out, you're good to go. So that's how you take the slide off. And then this is not a captive recoil spring like you see on most guns nowadays. It's a non-captive, or if there's another word for it, let me know in the comments. But take the guide rod recoil spring out, take the barrel out just like every other gun. That's pretty simple. And there you go. Now you have it field stripped enough to clean the gun. So what I like to do is I'll show you what I use. I got this kind of dirty. It looks bad, but it's not. It's alright. I got these from Walmart. They came in a 3-pack. It was this one. Has the two sides. Looks kind of like a double-sided toothbrush. It's plastic. It's really nice. It came with a brass brush. I got it around here somewhere too. Came with this. I use this in my knife cleaning videos, or my knife making videos for cleaning my files. And it came with this little pick, little two-sided pick. And this is really handy. I don't use it a ton, but when I do, it serves a really good purpose for getting a little bit of extra debris out of hard to get spaces, really tight nooks and crannies. And then I use just a standard gun cleaning kit. You'll get the shoot, can't remember what the name of this thing is. The bore cleaner. I can't remember what it is. But anyway, you get the one that matches the diameter of your barrel. You know, 380. This one's a 380. Or you can get, they got plenty for all barrels up. And then you get this little tools for your patches to slide down your barrel, dry your barrel out, make sure there's not a whole lot of oil in there. And then I use shotgun patches just because they're bigger, easier to clean. And I use Q-tips to get in the small spots of the slides and stuff like that. So today we'll be cleaning the gun itself, and I'll be breaking down the magazines. Show y'all how to do that. It's really simple because we're going to clean these up too. We're actually going to be trading this gun in here soon, so get a good clean on it. I use hops. You can use whatever you want. You can use this, or I don't know how you pronounce that. I just pronounce the hops. You can use Shooter Lube. I know there's tons of different brands out there, so you can go and use whatever you want to use as long as it works well for you. All right, I usually start off with the barrel, so I'll show you how to do that real quick. We'll get started. With the barrel, you don't really I don't necessarily use this, but if you can, if you want to, you can clean the part where the the lock goes in, the chuck of the barrel. Make sure there's no debris up on the feed ramp, and usually I don't normally use the brush on that. But take your bore cleaner, just a standard cleaner solvent. I usually don't get a ton on there, just enough. So as you can see, if you can see that, it's just that little bit right there wetted down. The rest of it's dry. But I'll rub that all on the outside of the barrel, on the hood, on the chucks, and definitely on the feed ramp. Make sure that's clean. I think this one, no, it doesn't have quite a polished feed ramp. Some guns do have polished feed ramp from factory. This one doesn't. Springfield's really good about having polished feed ramps. I know for sure other companies are as well, but that's the only one that I'm really familiar with. But anyway, you get a couple patches. Make sure that's dry. You don't want it to be super oiled up, because we're going to lube it up later on. And even when you lube it up, we're going to put a coat of lube on there, and then we're going to slightly wipe it off so it leaves just a nice thin coating of lubricant. That way it's not over lubricated and oil flying all over the place. Okay, so as of right now, actually no, I said it wrong. You're going to take this thing, I can't remember the barrel bore cleaner. You're going to attach it to your adjoining rod that you have in your gun cleaning kit. This is just a standard gun cleaning kit, nothing fancy. And you're going to run it down the barrel a few times. Okay. Now if you look down your barrel, it should be pretty decent. There'll be a little bit of debris in there, but we're going to rub that out with these patches. And if you shoot your gun quite a bit in between each cleaning, then most guns will, but this gun did not come with one. You can use a brass brush to run down your barrel. Some guns come with a brass brush or a plastic brush or a cleaning brush already in the or with the gun itself, but this one did not. So we'll go ahead and throw one of these patches in there in your little patch tool attachment you have in your gun cleaning kit. And we're going to run it down there dry, and this is going to take a lot of the oil and debris out. Ooh, there we go. Alright, that was really good. I know y'all probably can't see. You can see the rifling at least, but that's pretty good. I like that. I like how it looks. There's no debris. The rifling looks really clean and looks free of any buildup. And I'll just go ahead and wipe down the outside, because when you're putting the actual bore cleaner attachment, I don't know what it's called, I can't remember, in there, it squishes a lot of that oil out. So we'll go ahead and wipe that down. Okay, so now the barrel's done. So the slide, what I normally do for the slide, you can do it however you want, this is just what I do. Take this brush and I'll brush out all the spots that I can get to that'll break loose a lot of the carbon buildup from the gunpowder or anything. If you carry it often, you may have some lint or dust or something like that in there, you know, just to help break free some of that. Okay, now I'll use these patches just like I did on the barrel. Fold it in half, get a little bit of oil on it, not a whole lot, and I'll run it through at least all the where I can get these patches. So like on the inside walls, up on the inside hood of the the slide, trigger bar. Yeah, this gun definitely needs to be cleaned. It's pretty bad, but you know, we shot quite a bit, so it's all good. It's to be expected. All right, so I'm gonna go through this because this is gonna take a while, but this is basically what you do. Try and get it I'm going to get it as clean as I possibly can, because we're going to be trading this gun in, so I definitely want it to be really, really clean, as clean as I can possibly get it. Most of the time when I clean my guns, if it's not for this specific reason, it's just, you know, it hasn't been cleaned in a while because I shot it here recently or something like that, I'll go ahead and take it apart, wipe it down, clean it pretty well, and then lube it up, put it back together. But this time I'm going to try and get every single nook and cranny clean. So as far as this, you're going to do this for a while until you can get it to where this pad's not super dirty. And then this gun, it's hammer fired, so it's got a lot of openings in there. And I'm going to get down there with a with Q-tips. One side's going to be wet with the oil, and one side's going to be dry to dry it out. And I'm going to continuously do that until I'm satisfied with how this looks. So I'm going to go ahead and continue doing that, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's finished. Alright guys, I got it finished up. This looks pretty good. I may go ahead and wipe it down just a little bit on the inside here, a little bit more to dry it up before we lubricate it. But anyway, there's a lot of areas you definitely want to make sure you got clean. For striker fire guns, it's going to be a little different because there's not going to be a whole lot of big old nooks and crannies, that's what I call them, in there. But you still want to get the trigger bar clean, the slide, the inside rails as clean as possible. You definitely want to make sure the breech face is clean, where the barrel meets up with the slide, where the bullet's going to sit. That way you don't have to worry about any malfunctions with the fire, getting something on there, and the firing pin not being able to connect properly with the primer, or maybe the extractor's not able to get around the bullet. So you definitely want to make sure that's clean 100%. And we're done with this right now until we lubricate it up. Let me go ahead and wipe the inside like I said I was going to real quick so I don't forget. Just a real quick wipe on it. Yeah, it's doing really good. Okay, it's on a spot it really needed. Alright, now we're going to clean the frame. Now the frame, I also use the brush. There it is. For any time that I clean my guns, I use the brush to get down in here in the mag well and all the other moving parts. This one's got quite a few moving parts because it is a hammer fire. There's a couple more different things in here. Striker fire's got quite a bit of moving parts as well, but hammer fires, I've always seen that there's a lot more ways that it could malfunction just because there's that extra moving part external on the gun that could possibly have some sort of lint or dust or anything build up in between it and it not connect properly. So I use the brush, same as I did with the slide. Get down in the mag well, try and get, if you see any visible debris to break free, get to do that. And now I do the exact same thing as the slide and use these patches. And I'll also use the Q-tips, but as of right now I use the patches to get the bigger spots clean first, get them done and out of the way. Clean the slide rails, or guide rails, whatever you want to call them. Extractor or ejector, the inside of the locking block. Try and clean this mag well as best as I can. It's gonna be kind of tough because it's a single stack gun, so it's pretty thin. But I think we can still go ahead and get it. All right, dry patch. Now I want to do the exact same thing as I did with the slide. Use the patches, first patch to get a little oil on it, so I can get carbon buildup, blow back the debris off, and then use dry patch to dry it up. That way there's not a whole lot of excess oil because we are going to lubricate it. So you definitely don't want to have a bunch of excess oil that's going to dry up when the gun fires, because it's going to get hot and that lubrication not be able to get on the metal where it's supposed to be, and then you start having malfunctions because your gun's not lubricated properly and it doesn't run as clean, or it doesn't run as smooth because it's not as clean as it should be. So definitely make sure you don't have a bunch of excess oil. I know from time to time I do put a little too much oil on. I always do my best to make sure I get it off, but I know sometimes I use a little too much oil. But that's just how it works for me. That's what works. That's the way I know, because if I use a little bit of oil, a little bit too much oil one time, instead of using just a minimal amount of oil, it may not work. But nonetheless, I guess the moral of that is I'd rather do it for the way I clean it, do it once, than to have to continuously fight it the entire time trying to use just a little bit, conserve. But anyway, I'm going to go through this the exact same way that I did with the slide. Clean all the rails off, basically anywhere where there's moving parts, which is a bunch in here, and Dry it up as you clean it so you don't have a bunch of excess. And I will show you guys what it looks like when it's finished. I know it's probably not going to look a whole lot different from what it looks like right now, but yeah, I'll show you guys when we get there. Alright, we got that done. Now, since this is now finished, we got the slide, the barrel, the frame done. You can go ahead and clean the guide rod, recoil spring if you wish. There's not really a whole lot that goes into it. Most guns, like I said, nowadays have the dual captive recoil spring. This one doesn't, so I'll just go ahead and wipe the guide rod down real quick. Just a little bit of oil, touch it up on it, then I'll wipe down the spring a tad. But I mean, it can be necessary if you got a recoil or a guide rod like this that's going to run right through the center of the gun, right up under, right there. Because the dual captive recoil spring, the guide rod is actually inside, like it says, captive. So it's not as easy to clean that, so therefore it doesn't really get as much buildup as a guide rod like this one would. Okay, now we're going to do the magazines. These are real simple. They make tools that can, because you got the little detent right there. I can get, there it is, little detent right there. They make tools that can get to that. I'm just going to use a drill bit. It's the back side of a drill bit. You depress it down into the magazine, depress it. Oh, get my drill bit. There we go. All right, depress it. Pop this off. Keep your thumb right there because it is under tension. Slide the base plate off. Keep it inside the frame so you can see what I'm doing. Slide the base plate off, and it all comes out. And then you get your follower. Man, that's all gummed up in there. That's definitely gonna be, holy cow. There we go. Yeah, it definitely needs to be clean. It's pretty dirty. I can get that on camera. There it is. Dirty-fied in there. Okay. Now we're going to do just a simple wipe on these. I don't normally do a bunch of extensive cleaning like I would with the actual gun itself. Man, this is all gummed up. But I will wipe them down. Occasionally I'll throw some oil on them, and then I'll put just a light coating of lubricant on them so this follower feeds through up and down the magazine really smoothly. You don't have any catching or failing to feed because the follower is not pushing hard enough and it's keeping the bullet back, or keeping it too low, not letting it catch on the feed ramp and the extractor and the breech face. Okay. Clean this spring. The springs I don't do a whole lot. I just wipe the excess off if there's any buildup on there. Alright, and I'll go ahead and brush. Oh, I can't do it on these. Too thin. That's alright. Tell you what I can do though. If you have a single stack magazine like this, these brushes, you can use this spot, this single headed whatever back part of the brush, or you can just go back to using your patch attachment. Man, it's the only downside to using these shotgun patches. They're so thick, they're hard to get in there, but they do work and they do go in there. Then you can just run the patch through there, just like you would the barrel. Man, that is dirty. I don't know if that's showing up on camera a little bit. It's dirty inside there. But anyway, it's just simple cleaning on these mags. And like I said, I'll throw just a tiny bit of lubrication on this follower. Just a little bit. That way it feeds through these the magazine walls really well. Doesn't have any hang-ups or anything like that, or any grittiness. And just like everything, like I'm going to show you on the slide, when you put lubricant on there, put it on, then you wipe it off. That'll keep a nice thin coating on there to keep it lubricated properly, but not have an excess. Alright, put these, make sure, okay, alright. Oh, crap. Put this magazine back together. Put your follower in there. Your follower will always look exactly like the end of the mag. Put it in there. The uphill faces forward in the mag. This one shows really easy because it's got little bullets on there, so it shows which way it is. But anyway, always put that in first, or you can put it all in at one time. I guess you don't really have to put it in first. But make sure this lines up with the bottom of the follower. So I guess I could show that. Oh, I dropped it on my ground. Got clean again. Alright. Show y'all what not to do. Okay. Got to re-wipe this, re-clean this real quick. I dropped it on the ground. I got a lot of wood dust out here. Coated it all up. Okay. So, make sure you got it right. See how that bottom of that follower's angled uphill, and you're going to do the same thing with the spring. Put it in there like so. Get your magazine, feed it in there, compress this down to where it's right there, where it's inside the magazine. You're going to take your base plate, slide it right on there, let it pop into place, and you're done. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other mag, and then I'll come back and then we'll start the lubrication process of the slide, the frame, the barrel, and everything. I'll show you how that's done. Alright guys, we got all that finished up. Now we're going to start the lubrication process of the gun before we put it back together. Now you can start with whatever you want to start with. I started with the barrel to clean it, so I start with the gun to lube it up. Or to start with the barrel to clean it, so I start with the barrel to lube it up. Alright. Now, like I said, I use the Hops Gun Lube. Superior lubrication and corrosion protection. This stuff works really well. I've used it in the past. I've always used it with all my guns, handguns, shotguns, rifles, whatever. It just works. Just put a little bit on there. I'm going to start with the barrel. So you definitely want to lube up the actual barrel. And then you want to lube up the hood. Lube up the barrel itself. And like I said, when you put it on, you want to get the dry part and wipe it down. That'll leave a nice thin coating of lubricant on the barrel, but it won't be in excess where it's causing your gun to malfunction because it's got too much, or maybe it flash fire. I don't know. I've never heard of that happening, but you know, you never know. Lube up the chucks, and I lube up the feed ramp. I don't know if it's absolutely 100% necessary, but I always do, and it doesn't seem to impede performance, and it seems to work pretty well for me. So you want to lube up the chucks if you wish to do so. Lube up the feed ramp. If you don't want to do that, just make sure that your feed ramp is really clean, and lube up the actual barrel. So that's finished. I'll throw just a thin coating of lubricant on this guide rod just because of how it is. This way it'll cycle really smooth, no issues. Put a layer on there, wipe it down. Okay, we're going to go to the slide. These two are now done. We're going to go to the slide. For the slide, you want to lube up for sure these inner rails. I don't know if you guys can see those or not. I don't know if it'll come up on camera. Anyway, where these rails match up inside the slide, you definitely want to lube that up for sure. You want to lube up the inner part, as you can see where it's worn a little bit. Right there, the inner part where the barrel rides up, the hood of the barrel, the breech face right here, and then the inner port of the barrel. And if you have this gun in particular, because this cleaning tutorial will be good for just about any gun out there, striker or hammer fired. But if you have this type of gun, lube up the inside, excuse me, where the guide rod will cycle. So the inner rails, where the hood of the barrel is going, the breech face and where the barrel and guide rod cycle through the slide. Same thing with those. The barrel, you're gonna put a layer in, wipe it so it's not over lubricated. If that's even a thing, I'm sure it is, because it can impede performance. Move up the inside here where the barrel's gonna cycle, the hood of the barrel anyway. And make sure, don't try and be over ambitious with these Q-tips if this is what you use. If you lube up one part and you wipe it down, throw it away and get a new one. That way you're not getting dirt or debris in another spot of the gun trying to use the same one with the same lubrication on there. Just best to get a ton of them, because you're probably going to go through them depending on how dirty the gun is, how many spots you've had to lubricate, and how big the area, the surface area you're lubricating. This gun's pretty small, so I'm actually not using as many as I thought I would. Okay, the slide is lubricated. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do the trigger bar. Well, I guess this is probably the more of the. No, it's trigger bar. Getting my parts wrong. Right up here is trigger bar. Lubricate that up. And certain guns, I would say most guns, but it's really not 100% most guns. It's alright to put a little oil on the outside of these slides. Some of them, like like I have a Ruger EC9S, it's a blued finish. It's not like a really nice high-end coating like you'd see on like a Glock or a FN or Springfield or Smith & Wesson. It's easy to wear off. Therefore, it's easy for your slide to rust. So it's okay. Throw a little oil on there, but just like the lubrication, throw it on there and then wipe it off so it just leaves that little bit. So for one, it's easy to cycle the slide with your hands, it's not too slick, and two, it keeps it from rusting. Alright, on to the frame. Now the frame, you're going to want to lube up these slide rails front and back. Lube up, well, just lube up this entire rail and on the inside rails for sure. And a little bit on the locking block if that's what you want to do inside here, where that pin's going to go in between the barrel to lock it in. You can do that. But for sure on the tops and the sides of the rails where the slide is going to cycle, 100% want those to be lubricated sufficiently so your gun runs really nice and smooth. Not gritty, not catching. Okay, let's go ahead and lube up that locking pin. And I'm not putting a ton of lubricant on these Q-tips. I'm putting just like a drop, which is usually plenty because this stuff goes a long ways. Okay, so as far as how I usually clean them, I'm done. So now I'll show you how to put it back together. It's the exact same way as you took it apart. So to start off, we'll take this little tool you get in the box with the gun. If you have this gun, you will have this tool. Some guns don't. Turn it, almost half turn. Pull that. I don't know what you call that. Take down the thing. It's not really a lever, and it's not really like a pin, but I don't know. But anyway, now these guide rod recoil springs are tricky because of how they're made. But you'll put the barrel in because you got to compress it all the way down. I've tried to take this gun apart a couple times to figure out a way that I could do this as easy as possible. Hey, that should work pretty good. Sweet. I kind of squished it like a syringe. 2 fingers on each side of the spring and one finger on the back of the guide rod. That should work pretty well. Okay, now since your takedown lever, let's say that, is down, go ahead and put the slide on, put it back. Oh wait, okay. You slide your button gun back, press that up, back where it's supposed to be. Oh, it's not high enough. There we go. And do your half turn, pull that pin out, and you're good to go. And that is the complete process of how you take down, clean a Walther PK380. And like I said, this specific tutorial I've used on the other two guns I've cleaned on this channel, which is a Glock 19 and a Ruger EC9S, which they are exactly the same cleaning tutorial. So this cleaning tutorial will work for just about any handgun. Certain guns you got to be a little more extensive with, like a 1911. It's got bigger areas, and those are more prone to rusting because a lot of them are stainless steel. So if you have a gun that's a little bit higher end that needs the extra cleaning, then you can use this tutorial, just do it more extensively. But that is the basic cleaning tutorial for basically any handgun, but this is specifically over the Walther PK380. Alright, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you all found some value in this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below what else you would like me to do. I've been doing a couple things different. I've been doing gun cleaning videos, and I've been doing knife reviews. I was doing knife building videos, like I have quite a few here, but I kind of stopped doing those because I don't have the 100%. I don't have 100% of the fastest working tools, like belt grinders and stuff, so it takes me a while. And so I stopped doing those for a while, plus I got most of the knives that I was doing in my videos completed. So let me know in the comments below what else you would like me to do. Like I said, I'm going to be doing some more reviews on knives. I'm going to be getting some new guns here soon, so I'll do some unboxing and shooting reviews. I can do more cleaning reviews over those guns too, if that's what y'all would like to see. But I appreciate everyone watching this video. I hope everyone has a great day, and we will see y'all soon. As always, we love y'all. Bye.